This video is going to help you to compare and order whole numbers. We will use a number line and place value to compare numbers. There's several different ways we're going to be doing this. One is with the number line and one is by using place value. All it means when we compare numbers, it simply means we're going to see which number is larger and which number is smaller. Now before we move on, just a quick reminder of the symbols that you're going to be using when we compare these numbers. Okay, so the first one is greater than, and always remember, because if you read it from left to right, this space is greater than this space. Less than, this space is less than this space, and then equal to. That's an easy one because that's what we use when we balance our equations. Now I know some of you are going to tell me you used greater than and less than, and your teacher told you it was an alligator. There he is. And the alligator always opens his mouth to the biggest fish. So if my biggest number were here, my alligator would eat him. That helps you remember, that's fine. But you need to know when you see that symbol sitting there all by itself, without the numbers, greater than, less than, and equal to. Alright, so I told you there were a couple different ways we're going to compare numbers. And the first way we're going to do it is we're going to compare with a number line. Okay, so we can use a number line to compare numbers. So I picked a couple numbers, 2,315, notice I didn't say and the number 2,348. So if I have my number line, first thing I'm going to do is find these two numbers on the number line. So about right here I would find 2,315 between 2,310 and 2,320. Excuse me, it'd be about halfway. And then 2,348 is going to be way down here at the end of my line, past 2,340. So here's 2,348. Well, it's easy to see now if my numbers are going in ascending order from left to right, that means they're getting bigger. My smaller numbers are to the left, my larger numbers are to the right. It's very easy for me to see that 2,315 is to the left of 2,348. So 2,315 is less than 2,348. And then if I write it using the symbols we just reviewed, you'll see 2,315 is less than 2,348. And the same holds true for the other way. 2,348 is way up here on my number line. 2,315 is way back down here. So 2,348 is to the right of 2,315. So 2,348 is greater than 2,315. And there's that symbol that we talked about that we have to know. If it's standing all by itself, 2,348 is greater than 2,315. So we've used our number line. Excuse me. Another way to compare numbers is using base 10 blocks. And we like to get these out and build houses and whatever's with them. But they're also very useful when we're comparing numbers. So here we're going to compare two numbers. We're going to compare 348 and 362 using the base 10 blocks. These are the base 10 blocks in case you have forgotten. So first we're going to build 348. So a flat is 100. Here's another flat, 200, and another flat, 300. So that takes care of my hundreds place, my 300. Then these little rods, like this, these are my tens. How many tens do I have? I have 4 tens. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 tens. So I'll put those there. And then how many eights, how many ones do I have? Whoops, I have 8 ones. So these little tiny ones here, these are my ones. So I'm going to put down 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this set of base 10 blocks represents the number 348. So let's do the same with the other number, 362. So I'm going to go back to my flats. There's 100. There's 200. 300. And then how many tens? I have 6 tens. So I need 6 of the rods. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 of those. And then how many ones do I have? This time I have 2. So I get my 2 ones. And I put those down. Now when I'm comparing numbers, I'm going to start with the number in the highest place. So which number is in the largest place for both of these? The hundreds here and here. Well, they're both 3s. So there's 3 and there's 3. So those really kind of cancel each other out. Then I move on to my next place. I have a 4 and a 6. Well, there's 4 and there's 6. Well, those are different. So now all I have to look at is which of those is greater. Well, I know that 6 is greater than 4, so I can do my greater than sign. And I know now, and I don't have to go any further because I have more 10s, I now know that 348 is less than 362 by using my base 10 blocks. All right, one more way we can compare numbers. We've used the number line, we've used base 10 blocks, and then finally we're going to compare using place values. So now I've picked some big numbers for us. Okay, I want you to think this number in your head as I read it on the paper. See if you're right. Okay, you ready? 2,340,083 and the number 2,331,760. So I'm going to put these numbers into a place value chart. So I have my millions, I have my thousands, and I have my ones. Remember we talked about the families a few videos ago. So I have my millions family, my thousands family, and my ones family, or the millions period, the thousands period, and the ones. Then I've written my numbers out into each of the places. I have 2 1 millions, I have 3 100,000s, 40 thousands, 0 thousands, 0 hundreds, 80 ones, and 3 ones. So that's my number, 2,340,083. Remember those commas make me say the period name. So if I look at this one, I have 2,331,760. Well, now it's very easy. I just compare my numbers and I can cross them off as I go until I get numbers that are different. When we compare numbers using place value, we always start furthest to the left. So we're going to start over here to the left, and we're going to look and see that the millions have the same amount of ones. They each have 2. So those are equal to each other. Then I move to my right to my next place. They both have 300,000s. Well, that makes them equal. My next place value, this one has 40 thousands. This one has 30 thousands. So which is greater? We'll circle the number that's greater. The 40 thousands is more. I don't need to go any further than this because now I have shown that 40,000 is more than 30,000. So I can say 2,340,083 is greater than 2,331,760. So using place value on a chart, using our base 10 blocks, And using a number line, we've been able to compare and order our numbers.